His name was Connor Hope, and he was wanted for murder. We found his camp by noon, but before we could make our move, we were approached from behind by a group of men traveling on the road.
You ain't supposed to be here.
Turns out they were some of his friends. The ensuing chaos gave Connor plenty of time to make a run for it, but it wasn't hard to catch up with him. We did what we could to make his journey easier. After grabbing a handful of Connor's ass, it was time to head back to Valentine to turn him into the local. After taking a moment to collect myself, it was time to get back on the road. We finally got to Valentine, where I delivered Connor's body to the sheriff. But he didn't seem to care one way or another and did not pay us nor acknowledge our presence. So we decided to take our goods elsewhere. On the way out of town, we were stopped by a griefer who soon learned a valuable lesson. With that taken care of, we were ready to get back on the road. That night we came across a small camp in the middle of the woods. We didn't know who lived there, but how bad could they really be?
You don't got the eye.
Go away, or I see much pain and suffering in your future.
After getting the hell out of there, we found ourselves at a bandit encampment where things soon turned violent. Our main problem was the man in the barn on the machine gun, but Miguel was able to sneak up behind him and relieve him of his position. With Miguel on the machine gun, we had no problem taking out the rest of the bandits. Our next bounty was a woman named Barbarella Alcazar.
Ah, Barbarella Alcazar. She came over this side of the San Luis with a bunch of men, Del Lobos for the most part. And there ain't been no let-up and bloodshed since.
I've been through the desert on a horse with no name. It felt good to be out of the rain.
When we reached Barbarella's camp, we were met by two men who were guarding the entrance. While closing in on Barbarella, I decided to blow up her horse so she couldn't run away. But after a machete to the clavicle, I knew that probably wouldn't happen anyways. We grabbed Barbarella, and more importantly her ass, and then loaded her up to take her to the local sheriff.
Looks like I owe you some money. Get the body out of here, and I'll arrange you some cash.
Later that day, we were met by yet another griefer. But Miguel quickly showed him we aren't to be messed with. Later that night, we noticed he was still following us, which was a bad mistake for him. The explosions got the attention of some nearby bandits, but we made quick work out of them. The next morning we stopped by to check in on our business partner Cripps, who apparently needed our help.
I'm sure you haven't forgotten it's my birthday. At least, I think it is. Certain dates have shifted over time. Anyway, the old Cripps would have asked you for a case of good brandy. But you know what the new Cripps wants? Yes, tanning supplies. The only gift I need this year. And next year, we'll be millionaires.
We decided to steal the supplies from a nearby camp. On the way back, we noticed we were being followed by a group of men, so I did what I do best and lit the place up. With that taken care of, it was time to get back to... We arrived back at camp to give the supplies to Cripps, who was so happy that he made sweet, sweet love to them.